Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I am so excited that you are here. I'm Veganology JJ, and I'm here to give away. We're going to do the wheel spin and give away a free book. Sorry about the noise. I've got the window open. I love it that the weather is so nice. Um, I am here to give away a free copy of my book, which is How I Went from Sad to Glad, my simple 4-step blueprint to transform your health, weight, and mindset to reach your goals with joy and ease. And this book tells my journey of how I went from at 42 years old from the standard American diet that everyone eats and grew up on to after I saw this show called, or it was a YouTube video called Raw, like RAW. It was a little documentary, and it talked about people healing from all kinds of chronic illnesses, allergies, pain, things that you wouldn't even imagine you could heal with fresh, raw, living food. And it really sparked like a really big curiosity in me, and Dawn actually is going to jump on here in a little bit if she finishes a video that she's working on, and she brought that video to me when she was looking to grow sprouts and microgreens, and I always tell her that video changed my life. That night I went out, bought a bunch of salad items and fruit, and decided, you know what, I'm going to try this experiment, and I'm going to have salads for 3 days straight. Big salads, no meat, no dairy, um, just fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. And I would fast all day as I normally did. And I had one big salad every night. And at the end of, let's see, 3 days, it was like I felt good. I was like, I can do this, Like it was a little weird on the first day one and day two. I was all excited about it, but I did find that I had a lumps. You all right, Menu? Somebody has like a hairball or something going on there. She must have ate some food or treats too bad. I mean, too quick. You all right, girl? You okay? We'll clean that up shortly. She seems okay. Well, maybe not. Oh, how much did you eat, girl? Let me just check on her real quick. I'll come back for the exciting conclusion of my story. Hello, everyone in the chat. I'll be right back to you. The joys of being a cat owner, but she's okay. I just worry. I'm like a worried little mommy. So within 30 days, I had this chronic back pain that I had had for 18 years. And I realized when I came home from work that night, the back pain was completely gone. It was like a miracle I had found. I had tried all kinds of over the counter medications, stretches, different, quick fixes, creams, everything on this back pain, and it never healed until I had 30 days of fresh raw food. So in my mind, I had to tell everyone. I started a Facebook page, and not too long after a YouTube, and I really from the beginning had thoughts to write a book about this. But then in 6 months, I think it was a pretty decent amount of time, but within 6 months I had lost 55 pounds. I was kind of back to my high school weight. I had no seasonal allergies since that day in 2019. I started this, and you know how seasonal allergies come in around May, June, when you get them in this spring, and they never came on again. And it's been like that for 6 years now. I'm coming up April 5th, which is why I'm doing all these giveaways to celebrate my 6 year vegan anniversary. And I say that probably for the first 6 months I was eating a diet free of animal products because that's what they had called it on the show I was watching, Raw Vegan. But after 6 months, I made this profound connection that there was no difference at all between our cats, our dogs, and the domesticated animals and those animals that we eat. And I found out on Facebook groups what type of suffering happens, how mother cows are treated, and there's a lot of things in the dairy industry that are horrible, and what was added to our foods. And after that, I really connected that I wanted to do this for animals. So my priority is that, but I also feel that there's so many benefits to a healthy vegan diet, and I feel like eating a really high amount of fresh raw foods in any diet you're on, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, is the key to really maintaining the best health. But there are many different ways to eat a healthy vegan diet, like whole food plant based is excellent. I think just being vegan and introducing into that diet, you don't have to worry about perfection at first. Just do what you can and start to explore it and learn. But what I really wanted to do was I wanted to not only tell my story in this book, which it does that, but throughout the book, I also have structured a 4-step blueprint. And this blueprint really focuses on the different steps that you can take to change your health, to change your weight, to change your mindset. And mindset plays a big role because the thing that changed in me, it wasn't like I changed. I'm still JJ, I'm still Jen, that my friends and family know. What changed was my perspective. So, what this book sets out to do is it goes through each letter of GLAD, and SAD stands for Standard American Diet, and then GLAD stands for Goals, Learning, Action, and Discipline. So, what happens in this book is we start out with G, which is for goals, and we deep dive into goals, how you may be setting goals that are too high, too lofty, rather. And you need sub goals. And we talk about how to set actionable goals that actually can work for you. And it's a lot more involved in each of these chapters, but just so you kind of get an idea of what it's about. L is learning, and that's probably the longest chapter in the book because I talk about learning, how it involves letting go of limiting beliefs. It involves unlearning things that you've learned your whole life or that don't serve you, that you might have had misinformation about. And as you learn, it's about gaining that new perspective. And it's about learning to love yourself and love your body. And this, by the way, can work with anything. It doesn't only have to be your health journey. It can work. It actually, I talk about in the book how it worked for me to actually finish writing the book. I had a goal of writing the book, but I really didn't know where to start. So it was just this big goal hanging out there of writing a book. But once I created a sub goal, which was to sit down each evening, or not sit down, I was doing it while I was chopping fruits and veggies up for my salad, but I would listen to other self published authors. I would listen to things that made books relatable. And I looked over some of my favorite books that I've ever read and started to get an idea of how the layout happens and how I can really help people and create an outline. Was my, like, basically that was my learning. My sub goal was to sit down and learn with these videos, and then I had to take action, which was writing an outline. A small little action like that can inspire the next action. So what we talk about in the action chapter is, remember that small actions can build that momentum and lead to the next, thing on the list, or not even the list, but it can unfold new actions. So what I mean by this is, for example, when I use this example in the book, when you are getting ready to, if you wanted to go to California, say you want to make this trip or this vacation, you could say, I want to go to California. And that literally could sit on the shelf forever until you decide, okay, how am I going to do that? What action can I take? Well, let me start looking up different places. I have to learn what's in California. Where do I want to go in California? Then I need to save money. So I set a little actionable goal that I'm going to save a certain amount out of my paycheck each week. The same thing happens. You might start that and then other things unfold. The same thing happens on your health journey. That's why I'm so big with the fruit and salad challenge that I do. Like, think about it. When you think of, oh, I got to get healthy, I got to lose 100 pounds or 50 pounds or whatever it is. If I had said that in the beginning, that it was never going to work out for me. What I did was said, oh, this video is pretty cool. I'm going to go to the store and buy a bunch of vegetables and I'm going to have a salad tonight. And I'm going to do that for 3 days. So I get home, I put the groceries away, I'm all excited about this stuff. I get it out, I'm creating the salad, I'm watching videos about the health benefits of cucumbers, and I'm like really delving in and getting into this. And that created the next action for me to want to continue to research it, me to want to find out after 3 days, why do I have all this energy? Why do I not want to stop? And then the next day, the actions led to another, where my first goal was to lose weight. Then it became not to ever have allergies again, and never to have back pain again, and to never gain the weight back. So it kind of unfolded as different goals. And then it became to really advocate for animals was another goal. But this all started because I took one small action. When we overcomplicate things and don't take a little action, like even if you said, I'm just going to have fruit for lunch tomorrow, or I'm going to try one recipe that I'm going to find online, that is prepared without meat. I'm going to try this vegan recipe. Whatever it is that you're going to do, that one small action might lead to another one. And I really admire you if you're here watching this and, you know, it's something that you're looking into, because learning is such a big part of it. And you have to kind of let yourself go all in and always remember to take that action and continue to learn. I'm sorry, this thing is it seems to be like flashing in and out. Hopefully you guys can like see me okay. But in a second I'm going to share my screen anyway. We're going to do the big wheel spin. And then one of the important chapters is also discipline. And this chapter goes into basically, how do you live in a world that is not healthy? I mean, let's just admit it. A lot of people aren't worried about their health. A lot of people in the world are not vegan. It's got to be a discipline to stay within your course, stay within yourself, stay on your health journey, stay vegan in a world that it makes it a little bit difficult. But what I try to do in this book and what I talk about is discipline is not negative. We shift that perspective in the book, that discipline is actually what we're doing to align with our goals. Instead of saying, I should be able to eat whatever I want, well, that's true. We know we can. But if you've always been eating whatever you want and that hasn't been serving you, then find a way to love the diet. Find a way to love the goals that align with you. They say if you love your work, you'll never work another day in your life, something like that. It's kind of the similar concept. What worked for me was I got so excited about the living foods and learning about them and figuring out what they were doing for my body, learning about nutrition, learning about all this new perspective and all these people that had transformed their health. And I got so deep into it that I started really tasting different foods. I started enjoying the food, finding little combinations I like. It's just you really get into it. It becomes your lifestyle and you love it. And you speak to others with that excitement and they see your changes. So we talk in here about how to overcome triggers. We talk about how to deal with other people that you might be around and have the discipline to stay the course, how to let your routine breathe a little bit, how to navigate it. And we talk about how in this book, it's really a motivation for you throughout too. It's telling you how proud I am of you, because I am. If you're reading this book and you're where I was, I want to talk to me, that 42-year-old woman who needs to lose weight, is stuck, has heard all these different diets, has tried, Atkins and Weight Watchers, and I even talk about in the book, I tried eating turkey sandwiches for a week, obviously before I was vegan, even though now I could have tofurkey. But these things never stuck until I got deeper into the principle of holistic health. And I understood and felt that I'd been lied to, really, by mainstream, that I was told that meat and dairy is good for me. And it set me on a journey to want to tell other people about my healing. I have the show on here if you check out the live tab. And I also have a whole playlist of transformations that have happened for both raw vegans and also like whole food plant-based vegan. I talk about I talk in these interviews, I ask people how they came into it. Most of them are like me, or probably you that might be watching this on my Facebook friends page. Never heard of vegan, think they're those crazy people that don't eat meat. Hey, Neo. Neo's making a little appearance through the Glad blueprint here. And it's just, it's so interesting once you really delve into it and find out that most people found out about it just like I did by mistake, and then kind of got, like Dawn found this video by mistake, but then it like can change your whole life. So I would say take that one little action and step forward and try, because it could happen like it happened to me healing. Welcome, Dawn James, to the show from
Hello.
I just was on the Aftermarket American Dream Trading. She does an amazing show over there. It was so cool. We always say, they'll take care of the wealth, I'll take care of the health.
That's it.
Well, we
That's
said it
it.
once. I act like we always said it. Welcome. How you doing, honey?
I'm doing good. I feel so energetic. I've been fasting now all day long. I've eaten one meal in the past 3 days. What's today? Friday. So I fasted for 24 hours the entirety of Wednesday. I fasted all the way through Thursday up until about, what was that last night, Jen? About 6:30 last night.
No, it was
And
later than that. I think it was about because I didn't eat until 8 something.
so I decided to break my fast with a little bit of grapes, a banana, and 3 mandarins. And then about 45 minutes after that, I had a small salad. Um, and today I haven't eaten anything, and I don't intend on eating anything until about this time tomorrow. So intermittent fasting, and that's a very aggressive, um, I don't know how long I'm going to maintain it, but right now I can tell you this: I feel fantastic. All my cognitive abilities were there. That's what took me so long. I'm in the process of editing a video, and I couldn't pull myself away from it. So that is going to replace eating for me. It's all mental. I love your book, honey, because it teaches you that you've got to replace whatever caused you to get on this binge, of eating or overeating or whatever. You got to take those steps. You got to set some new goals. You got to learn what you need to learn about what it is you're trying to achieve. Like Jen took the initiative and learned all about, the body and ways to eat and ways to be the correct form of what she's doing, and then she took action. She actually did it. And then she had the discipline to see it through. So that's what I'm doing. I'm putting the discipline in. I've set the goals. I'm learning every day. I'm putting on different videos and watching different videos about intermittent fasting. I've taken action because I'm actually in the process of fasting as we speak. And it's building discipline. The longer I don't eat, my discipline gets even stronger. So
Yes.
do it. It works. The book has worked for me. I am literally so engrossed in the glad process, and it's helping me so much. So thank you, baby.
Well, thank you. Dawn, her name starts with a D, and she helped me come up with the D for discipline. So it's awesome. And I know it was so fun reading the book to you because I saw you kind of like open up some
Yeah,
things, like,
resonated.
like
And I'm
things
not just saying this
resonate.
because she's my wife. The book really resonated with me. I would have bought that if I didn't know her.
And keep in mind that we're all at different places, and that's what I love about the book. It's not, if you're coming into this, Dawn is on a different level of her health journey now because she has learned so much about holistic health and has learned about fasting for years, and we understand that that gives the body a break. That's why I don't eat until I'm hungry. I don't eat on a schedule. Now, this is not medical or any type of advice. If you're on medication, seek advice from your doctor or anything. We're simply telling us my research and all the people I've interviewed and her experience and my experience. And there is a lot of people who really have found success with different versions of this diet. I always say there's many ways to vegan, and sometimes you unfold it in layers. Like you might
Hmm.
start with vegan processed food, like meat alternatives. You might find a video that you like if you continue to learn and delve into it, or on a Facebook page find somebody who's like high raw vegan and say, oh, I want to try doing that. And then you
Right.
might research that, and then you might become raw or fruitarian, but you have to really start with loving what it is you're doing, because we don't stick with things we don't love. And I see the excitement, I see the creativity when we feel good. So I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you.
Thank you, honey.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
it wasn't,
Appreciate.
both of us were, older when we discovered all this. I know
Yeah.
when you became vegan, you had that same revelation I was talking about. And like just the fact that you find value in it, even at the layer that you are in your health journey. I really appreciate you encouraging my book.
I love the book, and I think everybody should have an opportunity to read it because it's going to change their lives. If they get into it, they embrace the concepts of it that are in there, it will change their lives.
And I think we don't, I say this in the description on Amazon, we do not really not do things because we don't want to. I think all of us want to maintain our optimal weight. We want to be pain free. We want to have the skin we want. We want to feel good, and we want to have energy. We all want that. And we would do it, like somebody could just tell you, well, you got to eat all fruits and vegetables. That's one thing, but telling you how to navigate it is what I wanted to do. I believe in practical tips and understanding that you'll need a different perspective and mindset, not just, all of us collectively in this environment do such good for people because there's people who share recipes, and then there's people like shout out to my friend Angela Crawford, Dr. Angela. She just created a book called The Vegan Transformation, which is awesome too. Check that one out. There's people like Sky Conway I just interviewed. She has recipes and shares her health journey to so you can relate to it. And like it's amazing to watch what everyone does. And Dawn with her knowledge and fasting and grape skills, I call them. She loves her grapes, which she is eating.
Yeah.
But what we're all here to help, and we're here to do that. And that's why I wanted to put this into the world. This is something that everyone can have and to read and then revisit it when you feel necessary to keep that motivation. So a little quiz at the end to help you with moving forward your action steps, and a workbook. So I mean, when you're ready, it's there for you. Pick up a copy. But let's give away the free book. What do you think, Dawn?
Yeah, I got to get back to editing this video, so let's do it.
All right, let me share my screen. I really appreciate you taking a second to come on.
Oh,
She
yeah.
does such amazing work for American Dream Trading. Everyone over there is so cool. They've been very like encouraging to Dawn in my book, and they've taught her
Yeah.
so much, and she is so good now in helping other people. And Coach Chad, we thank you, and everyone over there.
Love
At
your faces.
ADP, all the moderators, you're amazing. Go check it out. If she's okay with it, I'll share the link here to check that out, so that you may want to
All right.
learn how to make some money while you're in your health journey.
Sounds good. That's what I'm making the video about.
So as every day, as every giveaway, I leave all the names on there of the people who did not win, and then we add the people who have signed up. So I've got everybody on here. I think we had Maria Moore. Is that Maria, Dawn, from ADT?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
cool. All right. And then we have I think there was Lynn Byfield, a couple new names on here.
Byfield. Wow, I knew a Byfield in where we used to live.
I knew too. I know her from my Facebook page. Oh, and Helia Baker. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That's pretty. And then we've got all our original people on here. And if there's anybody else I could I'm going to go back, and of course we'll just add you next time if you've entered after the little cutoff after I've entered the names. But all right, Dawn, you tell me when to spin it.
Go.
Ready? All right, here we go. This is the free giveaway, How I Went from Sad to Glad. You have the choice of an ebook, PDF version, or the paperback. Here we go. Let's do it. I get so excited. Everybody can see that, right? And we have Cheryl, our winner. Congratulations, Cheryl. Cheryl is an amazing person and an amazing transformer in my club.
Way to go, Cheryl.
You've met her. We used to meet. We're going to start that up again. I just had to take a little time off to finish the book and the audio book. But on Mondays, we were meeting with her and Kelly. And so I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you. Or have you here. I don't know if you're here, but you win. So I'm sure I'll be tagging you in this video. And you can let me know if you'd like the ebook or the paperback. And she has a cute little dog named Diamond, too. So I always like people to send their pets in with the book, too.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Because remember, I started with Neo, right? And then I think Marakita sent in her dog with the book. And who else did that? Oh, we had Menu, of course, with the book, and I forget, but I was like, wouldn't that be cool if even the pets like the book, because it's about animals. Hey, thank you for coming, Caroline
Hey,
Grace.
Caroline. Yep.
749. Thank you for joining. And she said, congratulations, Cheryl. Yes, congratulations. But I love giving these away, and we're going to do it again. April 5th is my 6-year vegan anniversary or vegan anniversary. When is that? Let me look at the calendar here. April 5th, I said, right? Oh, it is actually next Saturday. So we're definitely going to go live that Sunday or Monday to celebrate it, but maybe I'll just pop one a little bit, and say hi on the 5th after I get off work. Right. I don't think they'll let me off again. My joy. That's amazing. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining in.
Yeah.
And what else do we want to talk about, Dawn? Is there anything else? Is there any important information or tips you want to share for anybody?
No, just especially if you read the book, just take all it says into consideration, and just stay strong, stay raw, and take it one day at a time. That's the best thing you can do. Don't overburden yourself with trying to reach over the top goals. Just set small goals, attainable goals, and then just knock them out of the park.
I think one last thing here also is focus on your process, whether it comes to going vegan or getting healthy. The processes are what I hear Dawn talk about in her trade all the time, in her trade of trading. But, just doing the same thing consistently each day and learning how to love and enjoy it. Once you do that, you don't have to focus on weight loss or am I vegan or not. You just come into a routine, and you know that, what, if you make a goal every day, I'm going to get some sunlight, I'm going to move for 10 minutes if you're able to, and I'm going to eat fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, and I'm going to figure out combinations I like, even if I start with a salad or experiment experiment with tofu or whatever it is that you're doing, you will eventually get in that groove just like you were in your previous life, and things will start to just manifest for you. Things will start to work out and you'll start to see results. And don't rush it, because there's, it's happening. You're doing it every day. You're unfolding. Don't be upset if there's a setback. You got this. Like,
Right.
we believe in you. So I love helping new people. I'm going to be doing a GLAD workshop soon, and there'll be a course. And so there's a lot coming from it, but I just want to really help people understand and shift that perspective to be vegan, and to also to be able to reach their health goals, because I had no idea food had anything to do with anything that was going on with me until I embarked on this journey. And now that I know this, it's my duty. I feel like my purpose to put it out to the world. So thank you all for being part of that. Thank you for buying the book, for the reviews. You're all amazing, and I appreciate you. And Dawn, I appreciate you for
You're welcome, honey. I
bringing this to
appreciate
my
you so
life.
much. I appreciate you writing that book and being such a huge part of, my transformation. So you're my world. So thank you.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you more.
All
I'm
right.
going to go ahead and dip off and get back to the
I'm,
video.
I'm getting ready to end too, because I am hungry. I am not fasting. I love you, all of you at Vegan Knowledge. Thank you for
Hey,
being a part
Carolyn.
of
Thanks
my
for coming, honey.
transformation. Thank you, Carolyn. Caroline, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. All right. Talk to everyone soon. Thank you.
See ya.